Victims and their families are increasingly turning to private investigators to help solve their cases. What's driving this trend? A Valley PI tells us that a number of his new clients are not satisfied with how their cases are being investigated by law enforcement agencies, or impacted by budget cuts and layoffs. Tonight, CBS Local 2's Tom Tucker takes a closer look in this special report, beginning with one man who hired a private investigator to help crack a case of sexual abuse involving his daughter.
Good day. My name is Mike Simpfendorfer, or as my daughter Taylor says, Dad.
Because when it hits you, everything stops. Everything changes. Your world has now changed, period.
Mike Simpfendorfer recalls the moment in 2009 when his then 13-year-old daughter Taylor told him that someone very close to the family had sexually abused her.
You feel everything from, what did I not do to protect? Because parents are protective. How could this happen to my child? You cry inside.
After filing a report with LA County Sheriff's detectives, Simpfendorfer decided to get extra help in seeking justice for his daughter. He hired Valley private investigator Luis Bolaños. Simpfendorfer says the investigator was able to secure information now critical to the pending civil case against the man accused of molesting his daughter.
He gave me invaluable insight, information that we needed that has helped us to this day.
The demand for private investigators is certainly on the rise. Investigators are part of a broader category of security-related services in which consumer spending is forecast to grow at more than 6% per year over the next few years, reaching almost $20 billion a year by 2016, according to industry experts. Like many PIs, Robert Nichols of Ranch and Mirage once worked as a law enforcement officer. Nichols says upwards of 20% of his clients approach him, saying they're not satisfied with how their cases are being handled by detectives in law enforcement.
I have a lot of victims of crime that call me saying they've made police reports, they've got the police involved, but they want more. And they don't understand a lot of times how busy law enforcement is.
Palm Desert Police Captain Kevin Vest says experienced and licensed private investigators can play a useful role, especially in cases like missing persons or financial crimes. But Vest also warns it's not unheard of for some PIs to use questionable tactics while working on a case, and in some instances might secure information or evidence that can't be used.
Reservations are, one, obviously who the detective is that's doing the work. Secondly, is anything that they obtain that they come back with, is that going to be admissible in court here? Is it going to be a benefit to the prosecution?
Simpfendorfer says he and Taylor have a very strong case against the accused, and they're grateful for the work done by private investigator Luis Bolaños. After trying to take her own life 3 years ago, Taylor is now appearing in YouTube videos with her dad, raising awareness about child sex abuse and neglect. And after finishing high school 1 year ahead of schedule, the 17-year-old is now preparing for a career in real estate.
Now she's moved out of being a victim to survivor to thriving.
Tom Tucker reporting, CBS Local 2 News.
Taylor and her dad are now advocates for the group PAVE, Promoting Awareness Victim Empowerment. We've got a link to their website on ours at cbslocal2.com.